Welcome to another episode of the Payment Shed podcast, live from Money20 USA. We're very lucky to be joined by Goldi, SVP Payments Networks at Fireblocks. Goldi, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been to Fireblocks for probably about 4 years now, and I manage everything related to our payments industry, go-to-market, the product, R&D, everything, and including our network. So if there's a payments company out there that want to use digital assets, that's my ass is on the line, that they'll use us.
And we're really interested in how you guys have expanded across that full digital asset stack over the last few years. Can you talk to us about that from a payments perspective?
Yeah, of course. Look, I think that payment companies have actually looked into this space several times, right? They looked at this space when it started in 17, 18. They looked at it, they thought, oh, we don't want to accept payments in crypto, we'll go back a bit. Then 2021, 2020, around with the COVID era, people were looking at this, stablecoins were already almost there, and people were saying, oh, maybe we should start doing stablecoin stuff. But then there was this whole banking, obviously, colossal shit show, if I may, with SVP and others, and a lot of these payment companies went back a bit. And now what happened over the last 18 months, right? So obviously Stripe acquired a company called Bridge for $1 billion. That made everyone notice, right? So Adyen, Nuvei, Checkout, WorldPay, they're all like, wait, they spent $1 billion on something? That's big. And then administration change, obviously, more regulation, and all these payment companies are now in this, I guess, huge sort of like FOMO of, wait, stablecoins are actually happening, and they're waking up to see smaller fintechs stealing their payment flows. Yeah. And they're now coming in and they're saying, wait, we need to understand this better, we need to be in this. But also they're saying, and we're very lucky to be in this position, we actually want to work with a company that knows how to serve enterprise, that knows how to do scale. And when we tell them, when we tell a payments company that this year we're going to process $5 trillion, they are like, oh, wow, okay, we want to work with you guys.
And where are you seeing the most meaningful adoption of stablecoins at the moment?
It's mostly around, I want to say, payouts. Over the last 12 months, that has quadrupled. So payouts to gig economy employees, payouts to even salaries, for example, that's been growing tremendously. The number one use case, which is 40% of our volume in payments, is still the importer-exporter use case. I love that use case because I say this a lot, stablecoins are not cheaper, right? They're faster. And if you can find economic value in that speed, then great. And the importers, exporters, if they pay someone within an hour and now within 2 days, that saves them, that container being in the port, that saves them like $100,000 a day. So the speed equals money. That's the number one use case. It's my favorite use case.
And does fiat have to work in harmony with stablecoins? Is there a happy medium?
Is there a happy medium between fiat and stablecoins, you mean?
Yeah.
Look, I think they complement each other today. I think that, stablecoins are great for some things, not so great for other things. The world still runs on fiat. That's great. If you're in the US, you don't necessarily need stablecoins to pay for anything. If you're in Europe, SEPA is great. If you want to move money between these nations, between borders, then you sort of have to, unless you just want to waste your time.
How do you guys work specifically with fintechs and PSPs as part of your ecosystem?
Right, so I think the first thing that we tell them is, look, your users, believe it or not, want stablecoin accounts. And we start this education process where we show them that this is coming from the grassroots. This is not Fireblocks trying to shill you on a new technology. Your users actually want to either be protected from inflation in different countries, or maybe they just, want to hold that money so they can move it faster. So we start slowly. We start with stablecoin accounts, then we bring them on to, hey, here's yield. Imagine this, you can actually earn yield, share that with your clients, and then we get them to the more complex programmable money use cases, but slowly.
I guess that's a nice segue into banks and how they're looking at this from a liquidity and interoperability point of view. Can you maybe dive into that in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, I think the banks are still in this stage where they're trying to understand what is their role, right? Stablecoins are still, they're not the bank's best friends, because stablecoins means one-to-one reserve, you can't rehypothecate, okay, but at the same time, the bank's clients are sort of demanding to get paid in a stablecoin or send money in a stablecoin. And by the way, this is true for JP Morgan, and this is true for your regional bank that has, I don't know, like 1,000 clients. It's becoming a thing. Now, the banks are slowly understanding that they have to be in this. I will tell you one thing, I don't think stablecoins are the end result. I think they are just a patch in a way, until we get to a different tokenized method, maybe tokenized deposits, where the banks will, bring that as a product, but also be able to benefit as a bank that wants to rehypothecate funds.
And how far off are we from that, if you were to be guessing?
Probably 5 years.
5 years.
I think that, and again, I'm come from tech, so my estimates are always wrong. I always think that things will happen faster than they are. This is why I'm trying to say 5. But I think that, the bigger banks have understood this, and they're now creating tokenized deposits. You see JP Morgan and Citi and others. I think we'll get there in 5 years, probably.
Obviously, we're at Money 2020, so it would be remiss of us not to talk about why this event's such an important event for Fireblocks.
This has been, we were just talking about this, Michael Shalov, the CEO, and myself. This has been like the best event we've ever had, because we usually need to come here where all the most important companies in the world come to talk about payments, and we used to need to convince people why. Why stablecoins? Why is this good? Why using digital assets? This year, they're coming to us with the why, because people are asking them, this is what I love, and we're just here to tell them how. So the whole narrative has changed, and people watching us can't look at the booth, but the booth is not, if you would see it here in real life, it's not about us showing demos
Maybe
or something.
Justin can show the booth quickly. Give us a quick pan.
We're not doing demos. It's basically a huge meeting room where we're trying to just get as many people to sit down and tell us what they need. It's not even us trying to shill a technology or something. They're coming to us with their use case.
Yeah.
Very different than before. I'm loving it, by the way.
No, great endorsement for the biggest event in payments, right?
Yeah.
Just one final section then. All of our guests get asked to nominate something for the Shelf of Shame.
Oh, wow. Shelf of Shame. I'm going to put LinkedIn on the Shelf of Shame this time, because I think that what's happening right now with stablecoins and LinkedIn is, well, probably pure bullshit. Because if you are just going on LinkedIn for the first time and you're a bank or a payments company, you don't know nothing about stablecoins, you could by accident think that they're going to cure world hunger, right? Stablecoins are not the answer to all of everyone's problems in this world. They're great for some things they're not. So don't believe every shiller on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I don't think you'll ever get Justin and I to fully nominate LinkedIn for the Shelf of Shame, but if we take stablecoin
on
misinformation on LinkedIn, that can go on the Shelf of Shame. Brilliant. Thanks for joining us on the Payment Shed.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.